Hi, and thanks for clicking to start our monkey bread. I'm going to use 1 cup of brown sugar, 2 teaspoons of ground cinnamon, 1 cup of white sugar, half a cup of butter. It's very late in the night, so please, I apologize. I'm going to try and do this in one take. And last but not least, 1 package of refrigerated dough. I'm using the Pillsbury Grands flaky layers, and it's not an ingredient, but 1 large mixing bowl. It's important to know. So we're gonna put our butter into a pot. We're gonna let that melt for a little bit, and I'm just using a spoon just to get everything out that kit, you know. Just go ahead. Yeah. Oh, there you go. Using the finger. I did wash my hands before I started this recipe. I promise. Yeah. So I just look at me trying to get everything out of there. Another using my finger. We wash hands, of course. So as you can see, on a very low heat, low to medium heat, I would actually put it on low, so the butter doesn't burn. Then I'm gonna use a cup of my brown sugar and just pour that in there. Just dump the whole thing. Have a ball. And using a rubber tip spatula, I'm just going to mix that around, get both the ingredients flowing, and let it do what it do. Making sure that all of the brown sugar is melted, and after a while, you should come to this kind of mixture of just butter and sugar. Once again, this is not a healthy recipe, nor did I say it was going to be. So this is going to be just what it is. So it's just mixing it around, making sure to get all the chunks of brown sugar melted, and it's you just stir it constantly. And once that is done, let that simmer for a little bit. I finish stirring it a little bit more. Let it sit for a little bit over the low heat, just because we don't really want it to burn, you know. So while that is simmering on the stove, we're gonna start with our 1 cup of white sugar. Pour that into the bowl with our 2 teaspoons of brown cinnamon, guys, brown cinnamon, ground cinnamon. I'm just so tired. I had a long day. So using a spoon, just mix everything all together. Get it right, get it tight. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody got time. Just mix all of it together. Yes. So when you're done with that, you're just gonna put it off to the side, and then we're gonna start working with our Pillsbury Grands flaky layers, and I think these were like the 30% bigger or 30% more. And I'm just cleaning off the pan because I did buy these at ShopRite. I think they were like a pack of 5 or 7 for like $3. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. But because, I just like to take a little precautionary step and just wash it real quick. Spray this pan down with a little bit of Pam's butter spray. Look at that. I am just chefing it up. All right. So if you ever worked with the Pillsbury Grands refrigerated dough, you know that it is the most anxiety you will ever get trying to open up these things. I get, oh, Jesus, I just looking at it just bugs me the hell out. But whatever, knock on wood, nothing has ever happened. So we're just gonna take all of our layers out, all of our biscuits. Right? If you can take the extra step to make your own biscuits, I fully applaud it. I was just in a rush, and I had places in a birthday party to bring this sucker to. So I'm just gonna start cutting these biscuits into squares, and look, they don't all have to be perfect. They don't all have to be, a certain size or anything like that. I just cut them in chunky squares or in mismatched shapes. Once again, nobody got time to make sure that everything is cut precisely or cut, the exact same. Just chop it up, make your thick squares. I would say no less than like half an inch, or just cut them. And this is what I was doing, just making sure that I get enough squares and get them into that brown, the white sugar and the ground cinnamon, and making sure to get every biscuit chunk. That sounds nasty. Every biscuit chunk covered in cinnamon sugar. That's why I'm breaking them apart like that, to get all the sides and make sure no sucker is left unsugared and uncinamoned. So I started putting them into our pan, our buttered pan, and just to speed things up, there you go. So this is the just it basically fills up the bottom layer of the pan with 1 can of the Pillsbury Grand's flaky layers biscuit dough. All right, and as you can see, I really didn't like the way it looked in the pan, so I put it into the buns, and I took our mixture of sugar and butter, brown sugar and butter, and I'm gonna pour this all over our mixture, all over of the bread, all over the dough, and get every piece nice and saturated. Okay. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Yes. All right. It looks pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. That's why I don't know what really went wrong, but we shall find out. So once that is all done, we're gonna place this into our oven. And I already have this oven preheating, so I forgot that step. But we're gonna bake it at 350 for 35 minutes. And when it is done, it should come out looking a little bit like this. Nice and fluffed. Obviously it did rise. And it just, look at that. I thought I was a baker. So after letting that cool for like 10 to 15 minutes, the instructions does say to put a flat plate over, which I really didn't have. So I just took a regular old plate and I flipped it carefully onto the side, to not let anything spill, which I thought was going to happen. Much to my surprise, nothing came out. So I'm just trying to tap it. Trying to tap it. Look at that. Nothing is happening, you guys. And I know some people, I want to know what it is that I did wrong. But I forgot to film. I did butter the butt pan. So I don't think it was a issue of not buttering it. It was buttered. However, I don't think I put enough. I think maybe if I would have put enough butter spray or butter, that maybe it would have came out right. And at this point, I'm just livid, because I really need this monkey bread and to come out of this bun, because I'm supposed to be bringing this to a party. So I'm just going against all odds, forgetting the shape of the buns, just to try and get anything to work. And I don't know, look at that. Just look, anger, frustration. This is what's happening right now. And just forgetting the whole shape of the bun. Look at me, look at that, just pushing it. Lord Jesus, this is what frustration looks like. I definitely think next time I'm gonna butter it a little bit more, because I think that was our issue here in this video. Look at that, and then finally, look at that. It just falls out in pieces. Oh, I was so upset. Look at that. It just appetizing, right, guys? Looks delicious. Would you eat this? Okay, I'm gonna try and put up a poll, see if anybody would eat this. And look at just a mess. So the next best thing I thought to do was to just put it back into our pan. I did wipe it down so it wasn't as buttery, but I figured I'd just put it into the pan and take it like that. Oh, Look how I just dropped it. Expectations versus reality, guys. I don't know what I did wrong, but if you have any comments or suggestions, please let me know. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye.